What's up guys, Eterdo here, and today I'm going to show you how to play DRAVEN ADC with the best build and runes. I'll explain the way he works and I give you useful tips for DRAVEN. You should be playing aggressively from the start. Your main goal level 1 is to reach level 2 before enemies by auto-attacking the wave with your support, making short trades with Q in between when the enemy goes for the last hit. Let's go for the trade. Since we are played with little tempo, which grants attack speed and extra damage when stacked, we can also go for a really strong trade level 1 with the Q and then maintain that. And surprise Q with flash. Turns out I actually didn't have to flash because they didn't have enough damage. That was a crazy start because I also poked Lulu. Usually you should just go straight at ADC. But in this case Lulu had the shield, so I had to play around it and just constantly focus the other target that wasn't affected by the shield to maximize the damage output in this trade, which allowed for what happened. Other than that, remember that if an enemy goes at your support, you should keep focusing on enemy ADC to make them disengage or to get a kill yourself. As for runes, these are the best because Inspiration Secondary grants you cashback, returning 7.5% gold spent on legendary items, and the other rune, Triple Tonic, gives you 3 elixirs. The first one grants extra gold and pushing power, the second one is the most important because you get extra attack damage for 1 minute that you can time and use to win the fight on bot lane, and the third one allows you to put an extra point into an ability that is not maxed yet. But you can also use Sorcery Secondary for extra AD on the lane, like I do in this game, if your matchup allows you to trade a lot, especially with healing support keeping you above 70% HP more, and Gathering Storm rune is taken for more damage late game. This is good against squishes. You always want to start with Q first, which is your main damaging ability. By activating the Q, you equip an axe, which causes your next auto-attack to deal extra damage. After applying an auto-attack at the target, the axe will ricochet onto the ground with an indicator displayed in which you should move, and your goal is to catch the axe in order to continue and gain an empowered auto-attack again, to throw another axe. The axe does not land randomly and you can control it to some degree. After making an auto-attack when your Q is active, your next right-click movement determines where the axe will land right after the hit connects on the target. If DRAVEN is actually moving, it will bounce directly onto his path, otherwise it will bounce back towards his current location, either landing directly onto him or to his sides. Your enemies can see the visual Q indicator on the ground showing where the axe will fall as well. So watch out, as enemies might try to land crowd control abilities at you as you try to catch the axe. Outplayed. It's all about spacing and the movement speed and about having the right type of support too. After activating the Q or after picking up the axe, you have 6 seconds to use an empowered auto-attack with axe before it drops off. So attacking something refreshes the duration as you pick up the Q. Attacking a turret or structure will not cause DRAVEN's spinning axis to ricochet. There are 3 builds for DRAVEN featuring core items. The first and most popular one is Hybris into Exoptics and Infinity Edge. This build grants consistent damage and extra range on takedowns, which is good for kiting. It's best against bruisers and champions with short range, and generally for most of your games. The second one is Hybris into Collector and Infinity Edge. Take it if the enemy team is squishy and your bot lane matchup allows for a lot of early kills for DRAVEN. This can be really rewarding if you're ahead with a lot of gold and damage. The third build is also common, and that is Bloodthirster into Collector and Infinity Edge. You should be playing this build against bot lane matchups with a lot of poke, especially with higher range than you, from abilities and auto-attacks. The healing from Bloodthirster combined with the shield will help you sustain on the lane with the heal and allow you to make better trades. It's also good to go for this build if you're facing assassins in the enemy team. And by going BT first, we get huge early game power spike with that BF sword, 40 attack damage and later the shield from complete item. Let's watch out for Fiddle. His level 6 is gonna be annoying. He might gank at level 6. So let's not make it too obvious. Just last hit in. And in the right moment I go in like this. So pay attention to your own minions HP and then you're gonna know when to make a trade. During this time they're gonna be busy with their auto attack animation and it's gonna be harder for them to trade back just as hard. Generally, it's a good practice to load up your Q twice first by equipping 2 axes while farming or last hitting. Then you can wait for the Q cooldown to go off and next you should engage. If something happens during the trade, let's say an enemy stuns you which would make you unable to pick up an axe, you're gonna have another one by simply pressing Q again. And that way you can still maintain 2 auto attacks. And with enough attack speed you can constantly auto attack having 2 axes without slowing down just to catch the axe. So like instead of waiting for the axe you can already do an auto. And then you have to barrier actually. Just keep applying damage and if you have only one axe, remember that you can apply Q and before the axe returns to you, you can make an ordinary auto attack in the meantime to maximize the damage as well. If you cannot throw 2 axes when the Q is on cooldown, then you have lost one. Always go for pickaxe first over Vampiric Scepter because it grants more attack damage. You can hold up to 2 spinning axes from Q at once, and every time you manage to catch an axe, you refresh your W. W grants you movement speed for 1.5 seconds and attack speed for 3 seconds. So when chasing an enemy, you can press W, then you can catch an axe forward from Q to press W again and refresh the duration of W with bonuses which scale with rank of this ability from 20% to 40% for attack speed and from 50% to 70% for movement speed. And we can zone away from CS. During W we become ghosted for 1.5 seconds, which means that you can ignore unit collision, and for example you won't get minion blocked. As for the passive, when DRAVEN catches a spinning axe, kills a non-champion or destroys a turret, he gains a stack of adoration. When DRAVEN kills an enemy champion, he consumes all of his adoration stacks and gains 25 gold plus 2 additional gold per stack upon killing a champion. Fiddle on the other side. So this can really help you in snowballing, getting gold for items, but keep in mind that DRAVEN loses 50% of adoration stacks upon death. I'm not seeing Yona, so you have to think twice before overextending and losing all of these stacks. Also pay attention if the RB has some deaths already, they might be worth little amount of gold. So then you don't wanna risk your own shutdown and your passive stacks just for the kill, or like 1 for 1. So really watch out. It's good to take early kills like 2 kills, but then you have to think if it's worth going for war or maybe you can just start freezing, keep getting more stacks and then you can get a kill when it's totally free. When you're sure where the jungler is, like keep in mind DRAVEN has no dashes. Now W to push faster, don't wait for the axe to fall, you can just do an ordinary auto. Yone thought he's strong enough, but I'm so ahead, and we also got Nunu. Remember that getting an assist doesn't count towards stacking, so you either need farm or kills, and your playstyle should depend based on the matchup, how strong you are and how fit. Generally this passive can grant you a decent amount of gold that makes a difference, because you can get more items which means more damage for you, so if you have high amount of stacks, you should focus on not dying and going in for the kill only if it's very likely you can get one without risking much. And if you get ahead you can just freeze and keep farming, getting more stacks, then at the right moment you can cash out by getting a kill, either during the gank of your jungler or with a good engage of your support, but it shouldn't be the front line. You have to be patient. Since an aggressive playstyle fits DRAVEN, it's all about experience and knowing your limits with damage output potential. . And when you're ahead and you have BT, there's no way they can win the trade, because you're gonna heal for too much, especially with Nabi. As for the E, DRAVEN throws a fan of axes in a line in the target direction, dealing physical damage to all enemies hit, knocking them aside but not through terrain, and slowing for 2 seconds. It is actually possible to extend the range of E with E-flash combo, but in order for this to work you have to press flash in the moment of casting, at the end of E cast time indicator. Only then you're gonna have an extended range, and you might have to practice at first. Just pay attention to that indicator within that time. When it's still loading you have to flash and then it's gonna work. Wait, what? My bad. I thought he just went back top lane. Like I could have just gone for the lane swap. You can be creative with your E depending on the situation. You can cancel enemy dashes, displace enemies into an allied CC, use it just for the slow to follow up the gank, use E to peel for your ally, protecting the one that is focused by RBs. You can also use it to disengage from enemies when escaping. The most common way is to use the E as an addition to your traits, because except for dealing damage it also prevents from enemy making a stronger trait than you, as they won't be able to auto-attack for example in that moment. But watch out not to spam it too much early since it costs 70 mana, but deals equal damage to your Q, which is similar to standard basic attack in terms of value. Your E can also stop channeling abilities, and this is very important, because let's say that you are playing against Vel'Koz. If you go for heavy traits, you need to keep the E to immediately stop his ultimate, which will drastically increase chances to win the fight. So consider this based on the matchup and keep the E against channeling abilities. I knew it. I was surprised actually. Like I've been waiting for this because we had full HP. Like keep your E to stop channeling abilities like when there's misfortune, or Fiddle to prevent them from getting their effects more. I'm just getting turrets, impacting the game as much as I can. Displaced him. Lastly, DRAVEN's ultimate. You can use this ability all over the map, as it has no range limit. And the way it works is, DRAVEN hurls 2 massive axes that deal physical damage. Upon hitting a champion or recasting, they reverse direction and return to DRAVEN. The axes deal 8% less damage for each enemy hit, down to a minimum of 40%. Your ultimate can be recast after 1 second of casting while the axes are traveling. The ult will automatically recast after axes from it hit an enemy champion or reach the edge of the map. You can only hit an enemy once per pass, but you can hit multiple enemies at once. DRAVEN's ultimate's projectile has an icon on the minimap while it is in flight, and it can be seen by only DRAVEN and his allies. You can also combine your ultimate with flash, either at initial cast with ultimate flash, just like with the E-flash, or at the end when your axe is returning, in order to reposition and change pathing of the axe, which can make you able to damage an enemy with it. And the nice thing that not everyone knows is that if your ultimate would leave an enemy champion with less health than 100% of DRAVEN's current passive stacks, he will execute them. And once again, well, I actually stopped his ability, but he still killed my support. And why does he focus my support so much? Probably because he knows he cannot kill me. So for example, 100 HP of the RB and you having 100 passive stacks. That is the value of extra damage, including the damage you're gonna deal with the ability that hits the RB. Make sure to pay attention to the map so you can secure kills like this with your ultimate by using it on enemies going for the recall or when they're engaging at your allies in a fight somewhere else on the map. And this is even more rewarding if you have a good amount of passive stacks, so you can just deal more damage with execute on enemies and get free gold. Maybe we can push bot now. You really have to focus on objectives. Especially with the fact that DRAVEN's wave clear is worse. So it's much harder when you're behind. Nope. Okay, Lulu. Nice damage. Now let's heal. Oh. Oh, I missed the E. My bad. Like if you load up the axe before, you always have the queue to get another one. Surprise out. What? My champion went this way? I thought I'm going this way, what? Well, maybe I'm tired. I'm recording this close to midnight. Let's get executioners to counter fiddlesticks and Siona's healing. Oh, nice damage. What? This is insane, what? Okay, so I'm gonna need shield bow this game. And QSS. You know what, let's sell that. Like, we need to be patient instead of making these random fights. Just wait for dragon. But like, one QSS can counter Fiddle. If I had it, I would just press that and heal before he would do so much to me. Tristana is making a comeback. Nice Dragon Soul. So yeah, watch out, do not overextend. I just followed Mundo and this didn't go well. And always kill the split pusher first.
Your turret has been destroyed. An enemy is dominating.
Well, this Dragon Soul is pretty nice for Draven. But when there's Fiddle, there's huge throw potential. We need to watch out.
An enemy has been slain.
Okay, what was that sound?
I've many a limb to lend.
Let's out. You have to predict the enemy's movement, so this was perfect. I just knew they would be going this way because I paid attention for like 2 seconds how she's kiting. Now we are not getting an inhib like this, so let's just back. Could set up vision on Baron. Try something. Let's do it. Nice stop.
Killing. Blessed be.
I think this should secure the game. So like in your Draven games you're gonna see it. Many games will have huge potential for throw. It's similar to Yasuo. But if you focus on objectives, it's gonna be enough to win.
Rampage. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
Remember to heal on minions. And the turret. Tristana is about to spawn. Oh, nice try. And just remember to stay chilled. I'm in no rush to finish this game.
Inhibitor.
So like we go for such build and elixir 500 AD pretty much, and Gathering Storm would grant more, so I hope that you enjoyed this and that you learned something on how to play Draven I also do coaching for DRAVEN and other champions, especially ADCs and mid laners, so you can contact me on Discord in the video description. Check out my stream and my other channel as well. Thanks for watching and see you next time.